I didn't grow up with wealth. I didn't have a financial roadmap or anyone showing me how to build a future, but I always knew one thing. I wanted more. I wanted freedom, I wanted security, I wanted the ability to open up more opportunities, and not just for myself, but for my future family as well. Then I saw someone living the life that I wanted, and this was our uncle. He had 13 investment properties, and he had built a life of complete freedom. He didn't have a boss, he didn't have to stress out, he had absolute open options for everything. And seeing that planted the seed that this is possible and property investing is the path. But when I started doing all the research, I realized that the property game has changed, especially in Australia. You can't buy 10 properties anymore. Borrowing capacity is constrained, the market has shifted, and everything has changed. The good news is you don't need 13 properties to achieve $150,000 in passive income. You need the right properties in the right locations, bought at the right price, with the right strategy. And 15 years ago, I got my first sales job. I didn't know much at the time, but I was hungry to learn. I devoured every single property investing book. I studied cash flow, I studied leverage, and negotiation was one of my favorite things to do. Very handy for real estate agents now. But I threw so much money, about $50,000 into courses and mentorships to understand how to turn property into a repeatable wealth building system. It's a factory style approach. In 2015, I actually got my property certificate. I was thinking that the next step in the journey, obviously, be a real estate agent. But what I realized is that they don't actually understand property investing. They just sell houses. They focus on transactions and not actually long-term wealth building. And this is when I made the decision. I wasn't going to be a real estate agent. I was going to be a property investor. And from that moment on, all in. This is how I started my property portfolio. I started building a multi-million-dollar property portfolio by applying everything that I have learned and how to buy strategically, scale faster, and invest smarter. At the same time, I was climbing the corporate ladder. I became the head of sales of Australia's largest legal technology startup, LawPath. And that's where I helped build out a team. We scaled the company. We served over 250,000 customers, and it was the best experience ever. But what I knew is that this wasn't where I was meant to be. I actually co-founded Australia's largest property investment community, Oz Property Investors, with Jeff Miles, and it just started to snowball. We would share our deals, we'd share our strategies, but it took off. We interviewed top property experts every single week. We are now Australia's largest property investment community. We've spent years breaking down data, interviewing top property experts, and refining the strategies and the processes that lead to financial freedom. And I just kept seeing the same thing happen again and again, the same patterns. Most investors getting stuck after 1 or 2 properties, they hit their borrowing capacities or they buy the wrong asset and they just have no strategy whatsoever. And that's when it hit me. This is where I can make the biggest impact. I walked away from the corporate world and launched Property Principles. So this is an award-winning buyer's agency built on one core mission: buy the best properties in the best locations at the best price for the buyer brief. There's no guesswork, no hype, just a data-driven approach to investing that actually works. I didn't just want to help people buy property. I wanted to give them the same system that I use to build for myself, a system that creates cash flow and capital growth, and then eventually financial security so that you can do whatever you want. Our guys aren't just buying houses, they're building true financial wealth. We've been recognized with nominations like Buyer's Agent of the Year, Innovator of the Year, but what truly matters are the real stories, the real clients who have built portfolios that will provide financial security for their lives. And that's the whole mission, that's the whole purpose of this. Looking back, everything that I've done, every deal, every strategy, every mistake I've made in my own portfolio has given me lessons, and it's helped me understand and helped me get to where we are right now, because I wanted that freedom. I wanted that kind of life where I didn't just trade time for money, where I could actually make decisions based on what's best for me and for my family, and not just a paycheck. I used to think I need to get dozens of properties to get there, but I was wrong. You don't need to have 100 properties. You don't even need to have 20 properties. You don't even need to have 10 properties to get to $150,000 of passive income. And that's exactly what I've helped to do today. This is not just about buying property, it's about building a portfolio that funds your lifestyle that you want. It's about creating a future where you call the shots and where your investments actually start working for you, and when you have the security to do what matters most. And if you've made it this far, you already know that property investing is going to be the way forward for you, right? You just need a strategy that's going to allow you to get from where you are to where you want to be. And if you're feeling lost or not sure of where to start, where to buy and how it all works, reach out. This is what we do full time. And if you put a part-time effort into something, you'll get a part-time result. But the whole point here is to create a strategic passive income for you that's not just a pipe dream, but it only happens one step at a time. And that's what we do. We'll guide you through the whole process so you can achieve something pretty incredible.